Lee Van Cleef, born Clarence Leroy. Van Cleef Jr. became one of Hollywood's most iconic faces, a man whose presence could dominate the screen without uttering a single line. From his early years in Depression-era New Jersey to international stardom in Italian westerns, his life was defined by persistence, craft, and an unshakable work ethic. Often cast as the villain, Van Cleef transformed archetypal roles into complex, morally ambiguous characters who lingered in the audience's mind. Behind his piercing gaze and sharp features lay a thoughtful, disciplined individual who faced personal hardships, multiple marriages, and serious health challenges with quiet resilience. His reflections on working alongside Clint Eastwood reveal not rivalry, but mutual respect and an understanding of the varied paths success can take. This story is about a man who carved his own legacy and redefined the meaning of cinematic villainy, early life, and foundations of discipline. Lee Van Cleef's formative years were shaped by the harsh realities of the Great Depression, instilling in him qualities that would define both his personal and professional life. Born in 1925 in Somerville, New Jersey, he learned early the importance of self-discipline, independence, and perseverance. The hardships he endured gave him a grounded perspective, making him resilient in the face of future challenges. Service in the U.S. Navy during World War II further honed his sense of duty, structure, and endurance, traits that would later translate into his methodical approach to acting. These experiences created a foundation of discipline that informed his work ethic and determination to succeed in Hollywood. For Van Cleef, survival was not merely physical, but emotional and professional, shaping a man who understood that opportunities were rare and earned only through persistent effort and integrity. Early career and struggles in Hollywood. After the war, Van Cleef pursued acting with a seriousness born from years of discipline and hardship. He studied theater and honed his craft, understanding that success in Hollywood would not be immediate or guaranteed. His film debut in High Noon, 1952, showcased his intense presence, though it was a small role with minimal dialogue. Despite being noticed by Hollywood, his unconventional looks limited him to playing outlaws, henchmen, and secondary villains. The 1950s saw him appear in numerous westerns and TV series, including Gunsmoke and Have Gun, Will Travel, often portraying characters defined by menace and intelligence rather than charm. Though his performances were compelling, they rarely earned him stardom. His early career was defined by persistence and professionalism rather than public acclaim, demonstrating his commitment to craft over fame. Setbacks and the turning point. Abroad, a serious car accident in 1958 temporarily halted Van Cleef's momentum, threatening to derail a career that had been building steadily. For many actors, such setbacks could mark the end. But Van Cleef's resilience turned adversity into opportunity. As Hollywood roles diminished, he looked overseas, particularly to Italy, where filmmakers were reinventing the Western genre. Collaborations with visionary directors like Sergio Leone provided a transformative moment in his career. Cast as Colonel Douglas Mortimer in For a Few Dollars More, 1965, Van Cleef finally assumed the leading man's status he had long sought. This role allowed him to portray a character with depth, emotional complexity, and moral code, diverging from the one-dimensional villains of his past. The film's success catapulted him to international recognition, proving that perseverance, skill, and timing could redefine a career and create enduring legacy even after years of struggle. Rise to international stardom. Van Cleef's performance as Mortimer in For a Few Dollars More marked the start of a new chapter, one defined by international acclaim and memorable portrayals. Films like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Day of Anger, and the big gun down, allowed him to explore morally complex characters who operated between justice and revenge. Unlike traditional Western heroes, his figures were shaped by experience, survival, and moral ambiguity, reflecting a realism audiences found compelling. Van Cleef's mastery of subtle expression, posture, and timing conveyed intelligence and menace without relying on theatrics. His performances resonated because they felt authentic, a testament to his understanding of human behavior and character nuance. By embracing morally gray roles, Van Cleef carved a distinct identity in cinema, demonstrating that one did not need to be the traditional hero to achieve lasting fame. Professionalism and personal integrity. Beyond his screen persona, Van Cleef was known for his professionalism and integrity. Colleagues described him as disciplined, courteous, and deeply committed to his craft. Despite international fame, he remained humble, never forgetting the years of struggle and rejection that preceded his success. Off-screen, his demeanor was quiet and reflective, a sharp contrast to the intensity he brought to his roles. This combination of seriousness, reliability, and respect for the craft earned him admiration in Hollywood. His approach reflected a belief that acting was a craft to be mastered rather than a vehicle for celebrity. Personal life and early marriages. Van Cleef's personal life mirrored the resilience and complexity of so his first marriage to Patty Ruth Kay in 1943 coincided with his service in the Navy and the early stages of his acting career. Together, they built a family, welcoming 3 children, while Van Cleef worked tirelessly to support them through modest and uncredited roles. The pressures of ambition, financial insecurity, and career unpredictability eventually strained the marriage, leading to divorce in 1958. Despite the separation, the bond of parenthood remained, shaping Van Cleef's approach to family and responsibility. His early marriages reflected both sacrifice and commitment, underscoring the personal challenges behind the public persona of a rising Hollywood actor. These years of balancing domestic duties with career aspirations reinforced the resilience and emotional depth that would define both his life and performances. Second marriage and career transition. In 1960, Van Cleef married Joan Marguerite Draw during a transitional period when his career was slowly regaining momentum. This marriage coincided with his work in television and film as he explored villainous and morally ambiguous roles, building the reputation that would eventually define him. Draw provided support during these years of rebuilding, yet long separations and career demands tested their relationship. Their marriage lasted over a decade, ending in 1974 as Van Cleef's fame in European cinema rose, highlighting the tension between personal life and professional ambition. These experiences underscored the sacrifices involved in sustaining both family and career, and the challenges of maintaining domestic harmony while pursuing international recognition. Final marriage and stability. Van Cleef's marriage to Barbara Havilone in 1976 brought a sense of stability and companionship that had eluded him in earlier years. By this time, he had achieved international recognition through his legendary roles in spaghetti westerns and action films. Havilone's support allowed him to navigate the later stages of his career with comfort and assurance, contrasting sharply with the instability of his prior marriages. Their relationship endured through health challenges and the pressures of a demanding career, exemplifying mutual respect and enduring partnership. This period allowed Van Cleef to embrace his established stature without the personal turbulence that had previously accompanied his success. Reflections on Clint Eastwood and collaboration. Late in life, Van Cleef reflected candidly on his collaboration with Clint Eastwood, emphasizing respect and admiration rather than rivalry. He acknowledged Eastwood's instinctive mastery of stillness and minimalism on screen, qualities that made him a symbol of the genre. Van Cleef's own career path, while different, complemented Eastwood's, highlighting a balance between the clean hero and morally ambiguous anti-hero. He credited their dynamic for creating memorable cinematic contrasts, demonstrating insight and humility in assessing professional relationships. Van Cleef stressed that Eastwood's success was earned and methodical, and he saw his own achievements as equally valid but distinct. This reflection revealed a man who understood the collaborative nature of filmmaking, valued professionalism, and approached both competition and success with perspective, fairness, and humanity. Legacy and enduring influence. Lee Van Cleef passed away on December 16, 1989, leaving behind a legacy defined by resilience, craft, and memorable performances. Known as the best of the bad, his contributions elevated villainous and morally complex characters into nuanced, unforgettable figures. His artistry lay in subtlety, intelligence, and an ability to convey menace with authenticity, ensuring that even secondary characters left lasting impressions. Beyond his screen achievements, his reflections on Eastwood and his own career revealed a thoughtful, disciplined, and humble artist who understood the nuances of success. Van Cleef's life story exemplifies perseverance, professional integrity, and dedication to craft, illustrating that true cinematic immortality is earned not only through fame, but through mastery, consistency, and the quiet dignity of a life devoted to art.